One moment of recklessness can be enough to turn everything upside down. In this video, we will witness the most dangerous accidents ever caught on camera, from reckless actions to fatal mistakes that led to unforgettable disasters. Shocking scenes, violent crashes, and moments between life and death. Watch with us how just 1 second of negligence can cause irreversible accidents, and learn the lessons that might one day save your life. Accident 1. While the car was moving on the road, it gradually veered off its lane without any attempt to correct its course until it crashed into an electric pole on the roadside. There was no mechanical failure or bad weather conditions. The reason was much simpler and far more dangerous. The driver was distracted by their phone, completely unaware of what was happening ahead. Such accidents can be easily avoided by never using a phone while driving and keeping full attention on the road. Just 1 second of distraction can lead to an irreversible disaster. Every driver must make safety an absolute priority because driving is a responsibility that does not allow any negligence. Accident 2. While traffic was moving smoothly, a driver decided to make a dangerous move, attempting to overtake from a prohibited lane. In a desperate attempt to return to his lane before fully passing the other car, he lost control and crashed into it. But it didn't stop there. The impact pushed the hit vehicle into another, turning everything into chaos within seconds. This catastrophe could have been avoided if the driver had followed traffic laws and refrained from overtaking from restricted lanes. Driving is not a race, and one bad decision can cause a chain of horrific accidents. Following the rules ensures safety for everyone on the road. Accident 3. In a split second, a car was speeding on the highway, unaware of a barrier separating the lanes. Why? The vehicle in front completely blocked the driver's view. Since he did not maintain a safe distance, there was no time to react. Suddenly, the car crashed directly into the barrier, showing the dangers of negligence on highways. This accident could have been prevented simply by keeping a safe distance, giving the driver enough time to see obstacles and react appropriately. Careful driving and constant focus are the keys to safety on highways. Accident 4. In a scene that highlights how just a few seconds of carelessness can lead to disaster, a car tried to enter the road slowly without checking if it was clear. At that moment, another vehicle was traveling at speed in its rightful lane. The driver was caught off guard and had no time to stop in time. Slamming the brakes was not enough, leading to a violent collision that could have easily been avoided. The main reason for this accident was failing to check before merging and not yielding to oncoming traffic. To avoid such accidents, every driver must stop and ensure the road is clear before entering. A single moment of neglect can be the difference between passing safely and getting into a severe crash. Accident 5. In a deadly act of recklessness, a driver ignored the red light, thinking he could cross without consequences. But on the other side, another car was driving legally, unaware that a simple mistake by someone else would put it in the middle of a severe accident. In just a fraction of a second, a massive crash occurred, turning a quiet intersection into a chaotic scene. The reason is clear: failing to respect traffic signals and rushing to cross without ensuring the road is clear. To avoid such accidents, drivers must strictly follow traffic lights and remain alert at intersections, as a single moment of impatience can lead to irreversible tragedy. Accident 6. In a brief moment of distraction, a car suddenly veered off its lane, heading toward the opposite direction without warning. The driver was unfocused, possibly due to using a phone or being lost in thought, unaware of the imminent danger. In a collision that was impossible to avoid, the car crashed into an oncoming vehicle, which was then hit from behind by another, turning the road into a scene of wreckage. The primary cause of this accident was driver distraction, leading to a complete loss of control and an unintended lane departure. To prevent such accidents, drivers must stay fully focused on the road and avoid anything that could distract them, as just 1 second of inattention can turn a simple trip into a disaster. Accident 7. While all cars were stopped at a red light, this driver decided to ignore the rule and speed ahead, challenging the system as if racing against time. But in a moment, with no way to turn back, he collided with a vehicle legally crossing the intersection, transforming the scene into a mess of debris and wreckage. The main cause of this accident was recklessness and failure to respect the red light, making the crash unavoidable. To prevent such accidents, drivers must strictly follow traffic laws because running a red light is not just a violation. It can be the difference between a safe journey and a devastating disaster. Accident 8. In a flash, excessive speed turns into a certain disaster. This car, recklessly speeding out of control, suddenly lost balance, dangerously swerving toward a roadside barrier. Within a fraction of a second, it crashed violently and flipped multiple times in a terrifying display of destruction. The primary cause of this accident was excessive speed, making it nearly impossible to control the vehicle, especially in unexpected road conditions. To avoid such tragedies, drivers must respect speed limits and maintain full control of their vehicles, as one moment of recklessness might be their last. Accident 9. In a common yet dangerous scenario, a driver reached an intersection without checking or stopping, only to be shocked by another vehicle moving in its rightful path. In an instant, a violent crash occurred, turning a routine moment into chaos, filled with wreckage and confusion. The main cause of this accident was failing to respect right-of-way rules at intersections, a frequent but highly dangerous mistake. To prevent such crashes, drivers must follow traffic signals and ensure the road is clear before crossing, as 1 second of haste can lead to disastrous consequences. Accident 10. This scene repeats itself again, where the red light is clearly visible, yet the driver did not stop and rushed into the intersection at high speed. Perhaps the brakes failed, or the driver simply ignored the signal, thinking the road was clear. Whatever the reason, failing to stop at a red light is one of the most dangerous mistakes a driver can make, as it grants priority to other vehicles. To avoid such disasters, every driver must regularly check their brakes and always pay attention to signals, because just a fraction of a second could mean the difference between passing safely or getting into a catastrophic accident. Accident 11. In this dangerous scene, a driver missed the highway exit. Instead of continuing until the next safe exit, he made a catastrophic decision to attempt a U-turn on the highway itself. Within seconds, another vehicle driving at full speed in its correct lane had no time to react. A violent collision followed, proving how deadly reckless decisions can be. To avoid such accidents, drivers must always stick to designated lanes and never attempt a U-turn on a highway. If you miss your exit, simply continue to the next one. Your safety and the safety of others are more important than any delay. Accident 12. In a moment of inattention, this driver reversed out of a parking spot without checking the road behind him. With too much confidence, he continued backing up, unaware of an approaching vehicle. Suddenly, a crash. The oncoming car had no time to avoid the impact. The reason for this accident is clear: failing to check before reversing. This common mistake can lead to serious accidents, especially in areas with limited visibility. To prevent such incidents, drivers should always check mirrors, use rear-view cameras if available, and make sure the road is clear before moving. A second of caution can prevent a disaster. Accident 13. This driver was performing a simple parking maneuver. Nothing unusual. But suddenly, instead of stopping, he pressed hard on the accelerator. In an instant, the car surged forward at full speed, crashing straight into a wall, leaving behind a shocking scene of destruction. The likely cause? Panic or a simple mix-up between the gas and brake pedals. This is a common mistake among drivers, especially when under stress. To avoid such incidents, drivers should always remain calm while parking, double-check pedal positions, and use the handbrake when needed. A moment of focus can make all the difference. Accident 14. As this driver traveled on a flooded road, he had no idea that danger was hidden beneath the water. The road appeared flat and safe, but it actually concealed a deep hole unseen due to the water. In an instant, the car slid and fell into the pit, leaving the driver trapped in an unexpected crisis. The main cause of this accident? Driving without checking road conditions, especially on flooded streets, where potholes or sudden drops may be hidden. To avoid such risks, drivers should be extra cautious when driving through water, reduce speed, and, if the road is unclear, seek an alternative route. Better safe than sorry. And that concludes our journey through the most shocking accidents caught on camera. Terrifying moments that could have been avoided if drivers had just followed the rules and stayed focused behind the wheel. Always remember, driving is a huge responsibility, and just 1 second of recklessness can change everything forever. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, leave a like to support us, and subscribe for more exciting videos. See you in the next one. Stay safe on the road.